Thank you, buddy. What's up, everybody? What's up? Where's the babies? Hi. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Hey, Kurt. Oh, there's Pablo and Finnegan. There they are. They're the two stars of the show. Oh. Hey, Pablo. Hey, Finnegan. Oh. What's he doing over there? What's he doing, Brown Eye? What are you doing? What are you doing, Brown Eye? What's your brother doing? What are you up to, Finny? Oh, there he goes. So what's up, everybody? Hey, Kirk. I want everyone in here to win. Hey, Marie. Everybody. Oh, man. Wife's out of town. I am tired. I don't even sleep. I mean, I don't even stay up that late. Just it's kind of nasty. Couple days here, rainy and stuff, cold, rainy. Hi, puppy. Anyway, so what's going on out there? Marie, you got any predictions for 2025? I had a guy, he emailed me or something like that. I think he emailed me. He goes, "What's your prediction for the first quarter of 2025? Or do you have a prediction for the first quarter of 2025?" I said, "Nope." Or maybe it's a comment. He goes, "Man, all financial advisors worth their salt have predictions." I said, "Okay, I don't." So whatever, man. I just thought it was funny. Hey, Gary, Joey Torres from Corpus Christi. Can we get a Ducks Georgia National Championship? I'm going for Notre Dame. Anybody but the SEC. So I was glad to see Oklahoma lose. I think another SEC team lost too. So I was glad to see that. Georgia Tech got spanked by Vanderbilt. That kind of sucked. I was hoping Vanderbilt would have lost. We got Professor Tweety Pooper. Oh boy, I have a sneaky suspicion who Professor Tweety Pooper is. From Minnesota. My prediction is be ready for anything. Go Navy. I was happy to see Navy beat. Navy beat Oklahoma. 100%. So we got all positive except for the Senate. They will drag their best. I actually think the House is going to be tough because the House was the Republican majority, like 3 seats or something like that. Because how many seats the Californians stole from the Republicans back there? Hey, Carl Swelling. Hey, y'all, says Dano Fitty. Dano Fitty says, "Hey, y'all." We got Carl from McCalla, Alabama. From Southern California. All right, right on. Professor Tweety Pooper. All right, gotcha. From Southern California. Vivek will become a Democrat. I'm 100%, dude. I don't know if you guys were even following this stuff on Twitter, on X. It's actually kind of funny. I don't trust at all what these guys, these tech bros, are saying that they can't find quality talent in the United States. I don't buy that for 2 seconds flat. Give them my daughter. Went to Georgia Tech, has a master's degree in computer science, and she was one of, I think, like 3 people got a job at her gig, and like 1,500 applied. I can't remember. So a significant amount of people applied, and she was one of the very few. And anyways, they're starting to say like all these Vivek and Elon and stuff like, oh, who's the other guy? Some economists are saying, oh, this is DEI for whoever thought the right wing would be DEI. Like basically, I was like, wait, so is DEI for Americans to want American companies to hire Americans first? That's DEI. I said, okay, then sign me up for DEI. My goodness. I mean, if you literally have a legit issue that you can't find workers, but we've fallen for this. Look, I did a video a year, maybe 2 years ago, that they said they couldn't find enough nurses in the United States from the 1960s. I mean, it's like they said, oh, there's a shortage of nurses. Thus, we had to import foreign nurses. This was the 1960s when women were just going into the workforce and stuff. That whole thing, it's just, they've been saying this for freaking decades. It's all fake. It's all fake. I don't have any problem with people coming in here freaking crushing. Doesn't bother me in the least. But you shouldn't be put above our own people. That's crazy talk, man. It's crazy. It's nuts. I'm like, why would anyone say it's the weirdest thing? My Chinese engineers are way cheaper. My company hires them all the time. Yeah, 100%. This is what we're talking about. And that's wrong, dude. That's wrong. And they shouldn't hire just because they're way cheaper. You know what I'm saying? That's just the wrong answer. I'm sorry. You shouldn't hire them because you're way cheaper. Is there somebody Drewski predicts I'll have 100,000 subscribers in 2025. Drewski, I guarantee I will not. There seems to be a threshold for some channels. They hit you're like 120. I'm at like what 85 or 84, something like that. You get this threshold where you're basically, it's funny, man. Whatever. It is what it is. Hey, YouTube pays the mortgage. That's all I've ever wanted. I mean, I see some of these guys out of nowhere. I just how these guys get is crazy. I mean, it's literally I'm sitting there thinking, what the? And obviously, YouTube favors out. I get it. So I'll never ever say I'm shadow banned. I hate that stuff, and I'll never say that because I don't think I am. I think it's stupid. It's, you're shadow banned. No, it's just so many content creators. YouTube can only put so many people in the algorithm. That's all there is to it. But I guarantee I won't have 100,000 by the end of this end of 2025. Yeah, I don't think I have over 90, Marie. I don't think so. The way it's going, man. Now, one of the reasons because I do, politics will bring out, some of the worst, and they'll jump off. Like, where have you been for the last this will be my 8th year doing YouTube. So where you been, man? I've always talked politics. So they'll come across a video like me and they're like, oh, I like this guy. And they'll say, oh, you're a freaking Nazi. I'm like, oh boy. Most red pilled manosphere gets stymied out around 30 to 50 grand. Actually, speaking of that, Antonio Gates. I love the SEC. Nah, dude, no way. I love the SEC. I don't know way, man. I mean, I like the Big Ten. I like the fact that you can have a white cornerback in the Big Ten. Can't have a white cornerback in the SEC. With that said, UGA has a lot of whites in University of Georgia, a lot of whites in non-traditional white places for sure. Lad what's his name? Old Lad, they're tearing up the league today. He's destroyed the Patriots. McConkey or McConkley, whatever. Is it Phil McConkey? Was Lad McConkey? Is that Phil McConkey's son? No way, it can't be. But I like that, man. I mean, I like the fact that Big Ten you can actually have a white cornerback. That's fantastic. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Belichick going to North Carolina. I can't wait to see that. I hope he crushes down there. People have been saying, guys saying, yeah, Bill Belichick has shown a propensity to recruit young talent. Anyway, so what we're talking? Yeah, Vivek will come Democrat, and so now I'm like, who was posting that? Jack Posdiak or whatever his name was posting that. Trump was saying all this in 2017, his inauguration. That would literally make Elon Musk go insane. And look, I like Elon. Elon's been a plant since day one. There's just no other way around it. I don't know much about Vivek. I frankly don't trust him, to be perfectly honest with you. I think he talks a good game, but I don't trust him as far as I could kick him. Yeah, 100%. H-1Bs are ruse for corporations and tech bros to replace Americans with cheaper foreign workers. Yep. Has zero to do with dumb and lazy Americans. 100%, man. Absolutely. 100%. And shalom. What's up, my man here? B. Gress. Shalom. It's 100%. That's what's going on. I mean, everybody knows this. Everybody knows it. It's insane, and it needs to be it needs to stop, dude. I mean, and we also know that a lot of these guys, they come in, they hire their own too. I mean, these are just facts. Look, I got tons of crushing clients who are from India originally, love them to death. A lot of them are devout Christians, love them to death. But the facts are, now that they're established in America, they're Americans. No, I got no qualm with that. But we shouldn't just let this freaking the thing keep coming over here from India, China. You know what I'm saying? I mean, hell, I don't care. I don't care where you're from. We got to make sure that Americans take preference. That's just all there is to it, man. Yeah, I know. I noticed that. I don't know what Biden hasn't signed. I noticed that too. Isn't he in like the Virgin Islands or something like that? But doesn't he have until I was reading like January 3rd to sign it? Like, doesn't he only have to January 3rd to sign it? That's what I was reading. I just saw a cursory look at that. I was like, oosh. Oh, Elon is 100% intelligence agency asset creator. 100%, dude. Dude, Elon's. I don't know if you saw the pulverizer. If you saw the picture of Elon's wife, mom, if she was doing the one. Yeah, new Congress starts 1/3. So does he have to sign this by year end? Or I know he can't sign it after the new Congress kicks in. Yeah, right here, Joker. So we got from the Odd Man Out channel, was a former software engineer and just did a video regarding H-1 visas. It's actually funny. Some of these guys on the NBA saying why the NBA suck and win so bad. They're like saying get rid of all the Europeans. I was like, man, that's isn't that fun? I mean, that's obviously racist. You can't do that. But how ironic that the NBA is like get rid of all the Europeans. I'm like, well, how about the guys coming in stealing our jobs, man, for undercutting their wages? I get it. They'll freaking work. I get it 100%. I get the argument in favor of these guys, but that's not in favor of America. And if you're going to be America first, it's got to be America first on both sides, the employees and the employers, man. It's just, I don't understand why people have a hard time with this. And Elon and freaking Vivek. Vivek was what Kirk just say, big farmer bro. My man Anomaly interviewed Vivek and asking, why'd you say that about Trump in your 2022 book? And Vivek said, well, blah, blah, blah. And he danced around the issue a little bit. And then Vivek was being interviewed by someone, was it Candace Owens, I think. And she asked him all the same things. Like, you said this about, people not conceding the election. He goes, I was talking about Stacey Abrams. And just, dude, you weren't talking about Stacey Abrams. You're talking about Trump, man. Look, I mean, I'm glad he's on our side. I like Vivek. I got no qualm with him. But the whole thing is just such a freaking co-op, man. We've been co-opted by these guys. Same thing with Elon Musk. Elon, I don't know, put his thing in the look, and Elon's been great. More power to him. He's helping our side quite a bit. That doesn't mean he's freaking not an asset for the intelligence agency. That's for damn sure. Roger says inflation will continue to squeeze Americans. I agree with that, dude. I 100% agree with that. I don't think that. I'm telling you right now, maybe this is just my pessimism being from Maine. I think next year is going to be a challenge. I really, really do. The Republicans have the majority by 3 in Senate and a very tiny majority in the House, and they're going to get blamed for lots of stuff that I think is going to happen. I don't know what it's going to be. I tell you, man. I mean, hopefully I'm wrong, but I don't have my book there. But I could easily see things going south in the markets easily. And that does mean I have no clue at all. None whatsoever. I can easily see things going south, man. I was talking about, I post on Facebook or Twitter, some of that about the, what the hell? I'll tell you what I said. Actually, I could not believe how silly people are. 1 second. I'll find it. I'm not going to find it. I'm sure I won't be able to find it. Let's see if I can't find this. Hang tight for just a second, amigos. Hang tight for just a second. Hold on. Be patient, ladies and gentlemen. Be patient. Oops. Yeah. Well, so here's. I mean, this doesn't bother me in the least. Median U.S. Household income by selected ancestry groups. And you see Indian, Taiwanese, Filipino. Whites are down here. That doesn't bother me. I don't know why this. I don't have any problem people coming over here and getting paid, man. It doesn't bother me in the least. You see whites are down here, and one of the reasons whites are so low isn't because there is absolutely unequivocally discrimination against whites and blacks. I don't know if there's any discrimination against blacks in computer software because I think they're so desperate to have any blacks they say, please, we'll hire you for anything. But we know there's discriminating against Native Americans. That's just a fact. And not just whites either, by the way. We knew somebody who got like a freaking, I don't know, like almost a 1,600 on his SAT. I can't remember. He just killer on his SAT, killer on his all kinds of activities. And he didn't get University of Georgia or Georgia Tech. I forgot. And he was an Indian kid. So it's not just whites. It's happening in Americans. And one of the reasons it starts from school because the schools say, we can bring a kid from China or India who'll pay full route, a full weight, but a native kid isn't going to pay full weight, especially here in Georgia because we get it's so cheap if you go to a state school. So this kid was an Indian kid. He had I can't remember exactly what GPA and his SATs were, but freaking, there's no way he wasn't getting in, and yet he didn't get in to UJ or Tech. I can't remember. But this doesn't bother me. I see these I'm like, look, median household incomes, Indians, Taiwanese, I have no qualm with that at all. And then they say, well, look, that proves that whites are being discriminated against. I said that proves nothing of the sort. This is stupid. These aren't the arguments that our side should make. That's stupid. All this proves to me is that whites are older and they're retired. Oops. That's what that shows. That whites are older and they're retired. That's why we're so low. That's just a fact. Our demographics is an older, retired demographic. And a lot of the people coming over here are younger and they're making more money. Anyway, that doesn't bother me. And it's just sitting there thinking, no one has any problem with people coming over and crushing. We have a problem, though, undercutting the wages for Americans who are looking for work. There's tons of computer science guys that are out of work, dude. Everybody knows this. Everybody knows this. So this idea that there's no Americans that can do the job, and why would anyone say that? It makes no sense to me. Hey, my man Clint. Hey, Clint. And my man Clint. So Clint, you never. I don't. Why? All right, I didn't see you're on there, Clint. Clint, give me $5. $10. Appreciate it, Clint. Clint, I still don't understand. Why did you laugh when I don't know. I'm curious. Why did you laugh when that guy Kevin Hickerson said we're gonna recycle nuclear? Whatever it was, you laughed, you like did a ha thing. I didn't know if you're like laugh like it's silly to say. I'm curious. Can we not recycle the nuclear? You know what I'm talking about. But you said that on the stream. What a week? I guess last week, 2 weeks ago. I was wondering why you said that. So anyway, if you want to, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Like, but maybe you know something I don't know, and I'd like to be. I think Trump means well. The Democrats are lacking answers. Oh yeah, Trump means well, 100%, Clint. I just don't think that the Democrats don't mean well, and I think there's enough Republicans who don't mean. Look at Dan Crenshaw, for heaven's sake. You know what I'm saying? That guy doesn't mean well. I mean, my goodness. I mean, there's enough Republicans who are going to put the Trump train on hold. NBA hates white Christians and too woke is why. Yeah, I don't know if that's the case. I mean, I agree that's the WNBA for sure, but I don't know about that with the NBA. I just think the NBA is there's too many 3-point shooters for sure. Pablo will win the lottery, and he's got Josh. That's true. Okay, so this is HR 82 went to the president just yesterday. All right, there's no way he's not signing that, right? I mean, I'm assuming that's the Social Security Fairness Act. I mean, there'd be no way he's not signing that, right? I mean, there's no way. People who study and become proficient in AI will do well. Yeah, I think that's probably right. That's what my daughter's doing. She's doing AI stuff. And their jobs are safe. I mean, she's doing AI stuff, and I don't know what the hell it is, but if you get proficient AI, look. But that's what. Remember, 20 years ago, learn to code. Coal miners learn to code, and now if you have a coder, no one cares anymore. Good evening. What a great year, 2024. Yeah, 2024 was a good year, man. It was. Let's say prayers for 2025. Dear Heavenly Father, we pray for as we come to a close of 2024. We pray for all those who've lost loved ones. We pray for the souls of those loved ones that they're with you now, or whenever you choose. We don't know. We pray for peace on earth. We pray for 2025 to be even better than 2024. Rain down peace on us, Lord. Make us see your ways. Make us fall to our knees and worship you and pray to you. Ask you for forgiveness. Turn the other cheek. Love our fellow man and just do as you command. We pray these things in Jesus' name. Amen. Yeah, I think we'll see. I'm not a pessimist in that I think 2025 is going to be bad. There's a reason. Look, man, this is just my own conspiracy. If they can steal the election 2020, why couldn't they have done it 2024? Because it wasn't close enough. And I don't know if I buy that, man. That's what Hugh Hewitt says. He goes, make it so they can't rig it. I don't know. Maybe that might be the truth, but man, look what they're doing in front of our very eyes in California. I mean, I have no clue if there's theft on the House seats. I don't know. No one knows. Why couldn't they have done that in just a couple counties in Michigan, a couple counties in Wisconsin, a couple counties here, Fulton County in Georgia? I mean, I don't know, man. Some stuff that's coming down, I don't like. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I said this back many years ago. I said one of my concerns that Trump wins is that they're going to want to do a national ID. And we'll all go, well, yeah, we need a national ID for voting and stuff like that. I said, man, you're going to rue the day you got a national ID. Well, we have a social security number as our national ID. Yeah, so we don't want to add. So let's add to that then, right? No, we don't want national ID. You know what I'm saying? And we don't want federal elections, like where the federal government is in charge of the elections. That's not what we want. I get it. There's lots of shenanigans that happen at the state level, but you don't want the federal government in charge of all this. You just don't, man. I'm telling you, I can see this a mile away. We're gonna have a national ID. Federal government's gonna get more intrusive on voting and stuff, and it's just not good. It's not good. We don't want that because what I don't. I mean, hopefully the Republicans will learn their lesson. I know I have because I voted for Bush. Freaking, I was all about George W. Bush, and then what an idiot I was. Suck. Shame on. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool, whatever the hell that is. Remember, fool me twice, shame on you. Fool me once, shame on whatever the hell it is. I was like, dude, I got fooled by that guy. You know what I'm saying? And now I learned the hard way that I should never trust a Republican expansion of the federal Leviathan any more so than a Democrat. Because the freaking Democrats will use it, what the Republicans expanded on it, to hurt you. That's just literally just what happened during COVID, without question. And we don't want that, dude. And so as such, it's kind of like, what are the things that Trump could do that sound good initially for the MAGA people? National voter ID, federal control of elections, not good stuff. There's other stuff as well that I don't like either. Now, there's tons of good stuff. Don't get me wrong. I'm not one, Trump better have to do everything perfect. I'm not like that at all. Well, I didn't win the election. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Trump freaking literally spit blood for the election. So he's got, like people are griping about Trump's choice for Surgeon General. Yeah, she seems like a clown, but hey, you win the election, you can choose someone differently. And I don't know why he chose her, but whatever, But I don't know. I think Trump does mean well. I just think there's a leviathan of the deep state that is very, very active. You see what I'm saying? And they're very, very good at what they do. And as such, it's hard to see much getting done to nip that deep state in the butt. I'm not expecting much there. Let's just put it that way. In terms of economic outlook, that's what I was going to show you this. This is the other thing I was going to show you. I'm not sure the stock market isn't going to take a breather. Let's put it that way. And for some reason, look at that picture, by the way, Pablo with that dog. So funny. Oh my goodness. We gave Kevin a Lego and he built that Lego, NASA Lego, just so we can make Kevin say, "Oh, space is real," or NASA, "We went to the moon." So we're now NASA fanboys. We're not. I thought that was kind of funny. We went to the moon right here. Don't laugh at kids for believing in Santa. Most adults still believe men landed on the moon. That's coming straight from Santa right there, by the way. Dude, it's so funny. Did I delete it? Oh, man. It's so funny. I guess I deleted it. When you challenge people, when you say, "I don't think we landed the moon," how angry people get. It's the funniest thing, dude. I'm on this Facebook thing and a LinkedIn Facebook thing and a Twitter thing. And I just see, it's so. I said, "Why do you get so mad?" It reminds me of my first challenge to the state of the vaccines, and people would get like pissed. I was like, "Why are you so angry?" It's no different than the climate control people, change people back in the 2000s said it was like ad hominem attacks, just straw man attacks. Oh, you want kids to die? I was like, dude, this is crazy. I said, "Why are you so angry?" It doesn't make any sense. I mean, it's the craziest thing. If someone said to me, like, Caitlin Clark is the best in the WNBA, I said, I don't care. I literally don't care. And they say, "How care you not care?" I said, dude, because I could care less about that. If anything, in the WNBA, I want to fail. So I hope Caitlin Clark does piss off everybody, so it fails. I literally don't care. So why would I sit there and say, go after you and say, "Oh my goodness, I can't believe it." Doesn't make sense, man, how people get wrapped up. It's the weirdest thing. This is what happened with the vaccines. So I'm starting to challenge looking at the vaccines. It's like 2013, 14, something like that. And so this is just something weird, man, about I'm not getting the whole thing here. And people get viscerally angry. I said, whoa. And the minute they started doing that, I said, I think I'm onto something. This reminds me just of the same climate change people. Oh, you want children? Gun control. So it was the gun control in the 90s, climate change the aughts. And then for me, it was the vaccine stuff in the teens. And then now it's the COVID stuff. But it's like the climate change, the same kind of people, same arguments, like, rah, like crazy. I was like, holy crap, it's funny. I always chuckle. I said, if you have to get that angry and use ad hominem and strawman attacks, then there's something not correct in your heart. It's just that fact. I mean, because if someone told me that Tom Brady did not win the Super Bowl 6 times, I'd say you're wrong. And then I wouldn't get mad about it. I'd say you're just wrong, dude. I would like, because it's stupid, man. Anyway, yeah. So anyway, I don't know what's going to happen to the markets per se. So the bond markets once again are getting hammered again. Your old buddy Josh once again has been wrong in the bonds. I'm not like he still should have bonds without question. But again, the bond markets are getting destroyed. The 10-year Treasury is now up to 4.7, which is crazy, man. So look at it, 4.7 on the 10-year, 4.619. Even though the short-term bonds are now, so we're away from that. And we're back now against a normal yield curve. That's the 30-day, 13-week, 90-day T-bills, 4.178. 10-year Treasury, basically 4.6. So the inverted yield curve is no more. And we haven't had a recession. And so that's my concern here is that everyone used to say, oh, the inverted yield curve means a recession is coming. Inverted yield curve just means oh boy, Finney's licking his butt. So we have higher rates, long-term, short-term. So here are the rates, higher rates in the short term, and you get less yield on the long term. That's an inverted yield curve. So essentially, you're getting rewarded for keeping your money short, and that doesn't make sense. You should, literally, the longer you top your money, the more risk you inherently have. So the inverted yield curve, the yield curve should be like this. You should get less return, less yield for locking up your money for less time. You should get more return for locking up your money more. So everyone's in mom, because we've had an inverted yield curve for a while, and everybody mom's screaming bloody murder, probably 4 years. This is a sign of a recession. Now, we literally did have a recession. I mean, no one wants to admit that, but we did. We had 2 consecutive quarters of negative GDP growth. Everyone in their right mind says that's a recession. But everyone's like, no, we didn't, because we didn't have unemployment jumping up and all that. Okay, so now they changed the definition of recession. Frankly, whatever. But this is my concern now that the yield curve has gone back to a normal yield curve. What does that mean? I just don't know. I mean, I don't know what that means, because we didn't have a recession with the inverted yield curve. The inverted yield curve stayed inverted for we're talking years. No recession of any significance at all. Now that the yield curve has gone back to a normal yield curve, does that mean anything negative? I have no idea whatsoever. But I do worry, and worry is probably the wrong answer to say. I do worry that the markets are overpriced without question. And I worry about the markets overpriced because what drives markets is earnings. And as I said a million times a Sunday, where does the earnings come from? And anytime you have an anti-status quo that disrupts, I want to be a disruptor, that disrupts the current, freaking day-to-day stuff, that always makes people nervous in the markets. You see what I'm saying? So I had a lady email me the other day. She's been emailing me a lot, actually, Pam. And she was, they never, how dare you, Roger? You sound like you're me. Oh, boy. American legend, the S&P will finish at 6 to 8% returns. Dude, people say that all the time, and they're always wrong. Always wrong. I mean, that's what's crazy about the S&P 500 is that it's averaged 8 to 10% real whatever. But yet, and I've done videos on this. So here's the average S&P 500 between, right there, let's say that. But on any given year, it's very rarely reaches those averages. It's always like this. Always. It's crazy. It's crazy. Very rarely does the S&P 500, I think it's only like 10% of the time, if the S&P 500 has averaged 10% a year, only like 10% of the time has it actually given us a between an 8 and a 12% rate of return. It's crazy. I kind of think Enrique here. I kind of agree with that. Yeah, I think the S&P 500 is going to have a breather. 100%. I 100% agree with that. They'll still be fighting the Middle East and politicians. Yeah, 100%. Buffett and the boys are selling and going cash heavy. They know something's up. I don't know about that, man. Cash heavy be like, yeah, right. Jeremy says the media said there's no recession. Thus, it wasn't B. Yeah, I'll gladly take an 8% return to the market too. Long-term rates are rising. Fed lowering. Yeah, but what's causing the long-term rates to rise? And we also know one of the reasons this is happening is because the Fed isn't buying so much. I mean, they're just not in the buying category. And so you're seeing a jump to the long-term rates and, it's going to crash $1. I'm like, so stupid. Anyway, so going back to what I had posted, and I'm not going to find it, but I'm reading this book on the 1890s. There were massive recession of the 1890s. And the guy who wrote it said basically, I'm going to find it. Hold on a second. You'll find some interest in this. I'll be right back. Who won? It's like Bo Nix just tied up the game for the Broncos. I didn't know the Broncos hadn't made the playoffs in freaking 8 years or something like that. I was like, damn. Anyway, so I want to share something with you guys. This is crazy. If I can find it right here. Let's see if I can find it. Hold on just a second. All right. The decline of prices from 1869 was a long and substantial one. So check this out. All series of prices for except metals were higher in 1869 than in any subsequent year until World War I. But all series did not decline to the same degree. Prices of metals declined most, about 67%. Prices of producer durable goods, about 60%. I mean, this is from 1869 until the beginning of World War I. All series of prices, except metals, were higher in 1869 than in any subsequent year until World War I. That's crazy. That's crazy. I posted this chart if I can find it. Right here. 1 second. Right here. In the economic development of the United States during most of the 19th century, financial panics occurred about once a decade, were usually symptomatic of more complex economic dislocations than the mere disruption of the stock market and banking institutions. Such panics as in 1893 usually ushered in a period of economic instability, disrupting the everyday activities of most people. The depressions of Pablo, stop. You come up here. The depressions associated with the panics were violent economic disorders rising from the conflicting interests and developments of a ramified market economy, adjusting often painfully to the many changes in the technology and administration of the nation's business. Anyway, so we had massive deflation, panics all the time, depressions every 10 years. And then the Fed came along, and we don't have that. We just don't. Stop. You can sit on my lap. I don't know why you're. Come here. They miss their mom. Oh, this guy. You want to go outside? Oh, you want to go outside? Go. Calvin can take you outside. Thanks, buddy. They miss their mom. My wife's out of town. So don't tell her I got the ladies upstairs. I got all these ladies upstairs. Like, hi, Josh. I'm like, what's up, ladies? I thought you had money. I don't. Sucks to be you. But anyway, so the Fed comes along, and other than 1920, 1930, basically we and that the biggest reason for that depression was certainly FDR. Oh, but they declined the money supply. We've heard all this stuff before. Smoot-Hawley. No. Okay, coming up. Anyway, so the point being is we haven't had a major depression since. 2006 to 2010 was horrible. Don't get me wrong, but that's 50 years after the Great Depression. No, 50 years. No, 80 years after the Great Depression. We just haven't had anything like this. Not anything at all like what we had from the 1800s all the way to World War One until the Fed came along. So all these people are like, oh, the Fed's going to kill the economy. That's not what they're just not, man. I'll take the Fed any day of the week over what we had back then. And people say, oh, no, you don't understand the debasing of the dollar, blah, 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 blah. It's like, man, I'll take this any day of the week. Anyway, the point being is the Fed being active in the bond buying, or in this case, not buying any bonds, is the reason that we're seeing the long-term interest rates go up. Some people probably say, oh, the foreign country is going to drop all of our bonds. It's not happening, man. It's in fact, I think I even have this right here. Like, oh, the U.S. dollar is doomed, I tell you. And it's like, I just get so sick of that crap. Well, I'll show you something else. Hold a second. Boink, 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 boink. There he is. That is a brilliant dog, right? Look how smart that guy is. It doesn't get much more brilliant than that. Oh, Pablo. Oh, by the way, I get my certification of achievement. I got that certification. Should have been signed by, I don't know who should have signed it. Robert Kennedy Jr. Should get him to sign that. There's my family picture. Merry Christmas, one and all. That's the fam right there. All right, right here. Who holds U.S. debt? Right there. Who holds U.S. debt? So if we look at this picture, we say 5.2 trillion of U.S. debt is held at the Fed. 3.7 is held by mutual funds. Banks hold 1.6 trillion. Investors, just you and me, hold 5.7 trillion. State and local governments hold 1.7 trillion. Pension funds hold $1 trillion. Intergovernment debt that has that the U.S. government owes to its own agencies, 7 trillion. The largest holder of U.S. debt is the federal government. Isn't that crazy? The federal government owes itself 20% of the federal debt. Other countries own 5.3 trillion. That's other countries. And the largest of that is Japan at 1.1 trillion. The second largest is China. China has 820 billion of US debt. That's only 2% of our total debt. China. Japan has 3% of our total debt. So all other countries hold 15% of our total debt, which is less than what the government owes to itself. Anyway, which is about the same as the Federal Reserve owes the federal debt. So this idea that the dollar is going to crash, I don't buy it for 2 seconds. With that said, can there be disruption of that when things get different than people are expecting? That's what I worry about. I think we've had a nice run for a long time. I think there's probably going to be some time for just a breath of fresh air to see how things shake out, especially if Trump starts getting in there and starts hammering some big economic stuff. And if you look at what happened under Reagan, remember Reagan didn't even have the House of Representatives in 1981 and 82. He did not. He had the Senate, but not the House of Representatives, and he got through some economic stuff that was initially quite painful. And we had a major recession in the 80s. Major. People forget in 82, I think there was a rally in DC, like 1 million or 2 million people rallying for economic stability. And people forget this too. People don't realize Jimmy Carter, to get rid of price controls on various things, and Reagan too after that, was amazing. I mean, people wanted still, this is before Carter, but during Nixon, they wanted price controls on gasoline, and energy costs on it. They wanted the price controls, right? So even though Nixon had the wage and price controls, when he got rid of them, they still wanted that. They still want. I mean, it's crazy the economic ignorance of American citizens. Like, we still want price controls, and it's crazy when you think about it. So Carter started to deregulate price controls, and that led to a huge just input in economic activity. Reagan did the same, and here we are today, still benefiting from those two guys, 100%. But that wasn't like obvious back then. I mean, I'm telling you, if you look at the history of 1980s, the early 1980s, it was a bad economy back then, bad. And people are like, oh, you're going to get rid of price controls. We're all going to have to pay more. And initially, that's what happens. When you get rid of price controls, initially the prices pop up. And then they start leveling back down as more and more scarcity gets reduced. Because reason socialism fails every time is because it brings scarcity. Because price controls inherently lead to scarcity. That's all there is to it. As scarcity, people aren't going to produce a product. In fact, I don't have the book here. Shoot. People aren't going to produce a product for less to sell it for less than the cost of production. They're just not. And that's what socialism always and everywhere leads to, which is why socialism always and everywhere leads to communism. Because what happens is people say, hey, I can't produce that product for what you want me to sell it at 10. It costs me 12. People say, oh, you have to produce it for 10. I can't. So you got two options. You don't produce the product, which leads to more scarcity, or you produce a product and you sell it underground. And that's exactly what happens in socialist economies. They sell it underground. So what happens then is the government gets more and more bolden. They say, oh, if we catch you selling underground, we're going to put a bullet in your head. Can't do that. So basically, you're a slave to the government because you say, well, you have to sell that product at 10, even though it costs you 12. You're like, I can't get by on it. Well, happens to all the communist countries, which always start socialistic. Anyway, so my concern going for us is what happens in 2025. Could there be a breather? And I think there probably would be. I would say the market probably goes down. It's easy to be pessimistic, dude. Trust me. It's easy. I would say I'd be prepared for a 10% decline in the S&P 500 easily. And you forget, we haven't had a real decline. That's not true. In 2022, with S&P 500 was down 19.8 or something like that. At one point it was down pretty heavily. 25%. A run-of-the-mill bear market. Q1 of 2020, it hit down 33% at one point. That was it. Q4 2018 was down 19% as well. So basically, since Obama basically Obama's first term, we've had one real bear market. 2022 didn't end up as a bear market. 2020 certainly did not end up as a bear market. We haven't had a real bear market in terms of year over year since 2028. We haven't had it. Now we've come close. I think 2018 we ended up down 4.5%. I think 2022 we ended up down 19.2 or 19.8. Both those years, 2018, the S&P 500 never fell 20% decline. Obviously, 2020 and 2022 they did, but they neither ended the year in the negative bear market. So we haven't had a bear market from any calendar year since 2008, and that's pretty significant. Now we've had a lot of fluctuation, but not much. I mean, if you think 2015, I think the small caps are down 15% at one point. 2011, I think we're down to 18% at one point. But other than that, not much. And the reason I say this is because I had a lady email me today, and she's risk averse, and she's been emailing me a lot. When she get in, when she get out, I said, dude, I don't know. Just if you can't sleep at night, you should get out. And then she'll get out, and then the market will go gangbusters. She goes, oh man, I'm missing all those gains. I said, then you should get back in. I don't know what to tell you. You know what I'm saying? But I do know that when times get dicey, people get a lot more freaking nervous, and when they get a lot more nervous, they're like, oh man, I should have got out last year. And I am not saying get out of the market, not in the least. I'm saying you need to take gauge of your own ability to deal with down markets. If you can't deal with a down market, then what are you doing, man? Take some gains off the table, for heaven's sake. That's the way I look at it. Can you truly deal with the down market? 2022 was pretty bad. If you had bonds, you got smoked like no one's ever seen. So if you're able to deal with that in 2022, dude, you freaking commend yourself. And stocks were down too. Don't be wrong. Stocks did go into bear market territory. So if you're able to hang in there in 2022, you're golden, in my opinion. Have you actually had an extended bear market, a la 2000, 2001, and 2, even into the Q1 of 2003? That's tough. October 2007 to March 9th of 2009, that's 18 months of a bear market. That's tough too. But 2022 was a bear market. I mean, it's a brutal market if you factor in bonds as well. So it's easy to say, oh, the stocks didn't get killed that much. Yeah, but the bonds did. And as such, if you had a 60-40 portfolio, you took on the chin. And if you're able to hang in there, you got nothing to worry about. Now, if you're dancing around like, oh, I got to get in that, well, then you do have stuff to worry about, in my opinion. That's just all there is to it. So for me, I got my, I don't know, 20% cash and the rest in VTI. I got some long government bonds I'm getting killed on. That's just I got some individual stocks, but my portfolio is basically 80-20. 80% equities and some flyers, aggressive stuff, and 20% cash. And I'm okay with it. It lets me sleep well at night, knowing that I'm not getting 100% of the up, but I got enough money in cash to give me a reprieve if the market drops and YouTube just destroys me, and I'm just like, oh man, I need some money to pay the bills. Yeah, I don't think the yield curve is flattened, Dan. I think the yield curve has gone back to the normal yield curve, because the Fed's getting out of the bond buying, and the yields are rising because the Fed isn't doing that, and then on top of that, the Fed is also dropping low short term. So, yeah, stagflation, strong pit. I do agree with that. I do agree there could be some stagflation, 100%. In fact, it's funny though, Roger Van Allen, I forgot his first name, is it James Van Allen? People act like he's all this. I don't want to say too much more. Let's just put it this way. Some people say, oh, could you get through the Van Allen belt? And he had written a letter. Some guy said, oh, of course you can get through the Van Allen belt. It's easy to do, or something like that. And I was like, yeah, because come on, you're part of this, the whole thing. And I've never quite understood, just because some guy named Van Allen said there's a bunch of radiation up there. How do we know that? I mean, maybe we've done testing, and I don't know. But I mean, how do we know? Just because Van Allen says a bunch of radiation with his Geiger counter in 1958. Okay, how do we know that? Look, so people say the Van Allen belt, you can't, how do you get through the Van Allen belt? Van Allen himself says you could. B, I'm not even sure I even trust that there is actually a Van Allen belt. Frankly, I don't know. Just because some guy said there is doesn't, and it might well be. I don't care. Philip. That guy. Inflation flat, record growth as new administration continues to spend, productivity due to AI, automate. I don't think the government's getting smaller, man. I don't see it. Inflation flat. So you're saying it's going to retain where it's at now. Yeah, but then you could see, that's the thing, Enrique. You could say we had a breather year in 2022, and that's an argument to be made for sure. I just think if you look back from 2008, 09 till now, it's just been such a massive run. We're talking 15, 17 years of just incredible growth. Incredible growth. I don't know. TikTok won't be banned. Yeah, 100%. Wow, Penelope loves to see my smiling face. Invest in Greenland real estate. Yeah, dude, Tim Tebow. 38% stocks is Vanguard. That's it. Only 38% stocks, man. The wood snake. Inflation will remain high. Unemployment will rise. Interest rates will stay the same. More in foreign conflicts. I don't think it's going to be a new pandemic. I do think inflation will probably remain high. Unemployment will rise. I think that's true. Interest rates will stay the same. I think interest rates will probably go up, actually, as we're seeing right now. I mean, like some was saying, maybe it was you. The long-term bonds the price are going down when the yields are going up. I mean, again, the 10 years at 4.6, the 30 years at 4.8. You see that little jump right there on this right here. That's a pretty significant jump right there. If you look at, so you can see this was a dead cat bounce right there. But you can see right there in August, and it's gone from August, the yield on the 30 was at 3.9, and now it's at 4.8. So, the 30 year has gone up 90 basis points. 3.9. That's 23%. So it's gone up 23% in what, 5 months? Crazy. All right. I'm glad you don't have any dogs. Oh, boy. Oh, man, sorry, Penelope. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, Trump be blamed for everything bad, even things he has no control over. Well, I mean, that's just the media. And do I like? I haven't listened to him for a long time, Kirk. He's kind of too secular for me. Is like too secular in terms of he doesn't believe, or oh, I'm gonna go get some water. Hold on, I'm gonna bring you guys with me. Oh, I hear something going on in the football game. Liam, oh, he's sleeping. Oh, the Bengals win. Oh, he missed. Oh, off the post. Oh, the Bengals, they lost, or they lose, or he kicked the sidebar, the cross, not the crossbar. Oh, I don't think the Broncos won though. I think it's still tied. It looks like they could have won the game in OT. Yeah, still tied. Oh man, poor Bungles. Feel bad for the Bungles. Huh? I don't know. What? Maybe I. Huh? Looks like 24 all. Bo Nix, the goat. Bo Nix is the goat. Everybody. No, man. See, and what happened? The Bungles. They had. You got to take the points, man. I know it's cool to go for fourth down, in the red zone, but you got to take the points. Stop this 2-point conversion stuff. Take the field goals. Just take the points. I'm telling you, man, these guys are trying so hard to be like, oh, our statistics say blah, 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 blah. Dude, take the points. If you take the points, you'd never be in the situation. I don't understand these guys go for 2. I'm like, why are you going for 2 right now? It doesn't make any sense. Take the points. Always take the points. Remember that, my friends. If you coach football, take the points. The Chinese New Year celebrates the wooden snake, renewal, transformation, and growth. Well, I bought long bonds last year. Well, not last one. I can't remember. It was last year. I forgot. And hasn't been very profitable for me. So if you ask me, is it time to buy long bonds? Don't listen to what I say, because I bought long bonds and I haven't made any money. Let's put it that way. I probably have made a little bit, but not much. Yeah, dude. I'm freaking Trump's crushing. 1%. Trump says if you don't buy our natural gas, we're gonna put tariffs on you. Like, yeah. Spam has a 64-year half-life. Invest for the long term. You know what else has a half-life long time? Honey. Make sure you got honey. The Argentina and El Salvador president should run Doge. I don't think Doge is going to come. I think they're a deliberate crack between Elon, Trump, and Vivek right now. I'm not sure whose side Trump's on necessarily, but I'm like, yeah, someone posted the Doge is successful. It's the first thing to be gotten rid of. I thought that was kind of funny. You can't have freaking all these immigrants coming over here just unencumbered. You can't. I don't look. If you're an immigrant came here, more power to you, man. But you got to put. But the thing is that ticks me off is all these guys like, oh, come here. All these guys come here and make our country better. I don't disagree with that at all. But why not? If they're, why can't they stay at their own country and make their own country better? That's what I don't understand. I don't get it, man. Now look again. It's a millionth time. I got no problem. People coming here to crush, but you shouldn't come here and crush over people who are already here. That's just wrong. Greenland has billions of oil and lots of natural resources. Lithium is also richer. And then U.S. military. We don't need to be taking stuff from other people. I'd assume we just stay like Biden just sent Ukraine another $1.25 billion. Who knows how much Israel's getting? I just don't. I know this is crazy. Christians love them some Israel. Weirdest thing. There are Christians in Palestine. Just want to be very clear there. There are Christians in Palestine. I don't get it because I'm entitled. Some countries don't have a democracy. Also, a lot of foreign countries are corrupt. You think the United States isn't corrupt? Dude, come on, there, Evo one. You think United States isn't corrupt? Oh my goodness. Why do you think some of these other countries are corrupt? You think it has nothing to do with us? 100%. 100%. My son's an engineer. His engineer friends were laid off at Tesla. Now must. Well, exactly. This is what I'm talking about. These guys can't get jobs in freaking computer engineering, software engineering, computer science, and all this, and yet they're saying, "Oh, we don't have the talent." It's all fake, man. And I just, it's not cool. We know it's all fake because I know with my own eyes, what my own daughter tells me, how people are getting laid off like crazy. No one's hiring. And she goes, "Thank God I came out when I did, because if I would have came out 2 years later, I would not be able to find work." And she's a white girl in an industry that has very few women, very few white women, and there ain't no blacks. And it's like, dude, they're desperate for white women, for blacks and black women in particular. They're desperate. And it just, there isn't any. And so if my daughter would have a hard time finding work, does that tell you something? And there is some preferential treatment. We know this same group preference among the people that bring it. This cannot be denied. Same group preference. People come here, they get manager roles, and they start hiring people like them. And look, I get it. Take care of your own. I got no problem with it. But why should we be the whipping boy for that? It doesn't make sense. Vesty is another term for 57 flavors. Some chick used it recently and explained it to me. Vesty. Interesting. Oh, yeah, we're totally the king of corruption. This idea, this chick says, or dude, foreign countries are corrupt. We're like, who do you think corrupts these foreign countries? United States. Yeah, come to U.S. illegally, get free taxpayer funded lifestyle while I'm forced to pay for my 100%, dude. It's crazy. Again, you want to come here and crush? More power to you. But we have the right to say who comes and when. Yeah, Michael Savage never did much for me, Kirk. That's why I like Rush, because he's funny, man. But I like to laugh. Michael Savage never did much to me. I was like, it's not that guy, Mark Levin. I don't understand why anyone listens to that guy like that. It's Sean Hannity. Exactly. Musk has definitely been trying to pull the wool over our eyes. Like, let's not forget, Musk is corporate welfare queen. Absolutely. 100% he's corporate welfare queen. We know that. I like Michael Savage, just haven't listened to him for years. Yeah, man, maybe I haven't listened. Frankly, I thought he was dead. I thought he died of cancer or something like that. I don't really listen to much of that anymore. I mean, I listen to I listen to obviously YouTube stuff, but I don't listen to like talk radio or anything. All right. Well, my friends, think I can get out of here. It's been an hour. I'm tired, man. Wife's out of town. It's kind of sad. I'm not gonna lie to you. Kind of sad. Kind of tired. Just blah. My dog's like missing their mom and their sisters. She just got on. Just get ready to get off. Go make some hot tea. I'll go. Oh, we saw Nostradamus. What the hell's called last night? Nosferatu, whatever that thing. All right, just for the record. So don't listen if you don't want to hear it. Nosferatu, he has a freaking mustache. I was like, dude, come on. Adam Silver from the NBA. Yeah, look, Denise, Pablo heard you coming. Savage screaming at people is hilarious. Yeah, okay, I'm not familiar with that. Adam Silver from the NBA commissioner looks more of a vampire than freaking Nosferatu. It was an entertaining movie. We went last night. I took my boys. It wasn't great. It was entertaining, but it's like, dude, Dracula's got to look the part, man. He just wasn't very scary looking. He was, he was scary, but not like. I was like, dude, make Adam Silver. And we saw the most recent Salem's Lot, same kind of thing. Nosferatu. It took a long time to build up, and then the end was too fast. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh man. So the Salem's Lot movie, the new one, it was okay. It just took a lot of time. You just want to watch the NFL game. No, I'm tired, dude. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna go watch some TV and drink some tea and go to bed. I know. I look tired. I'm so tired. Who are you currently listening to on YouTube? Christopher Lee was what was that? That's not on night though. It's not. I'm definitely going for Notre Dame. All right. What was that? Vampire, the Go Vampire. What was that? I listen to Candace Owens. I do like listening to her on occasion. But I listen to Jason Whitlock. I like the sports stuff right around this time of year because I do like I still enjoy sports. The Bungles won. Oh man, the Broncos had a chance to clinch a wild card. So basically, it's the Bungles, the Broncos, and I guess the Dolphins are still in. Yeah, man, Joe Burrow. If his team had a couple more wins, he would be without question the MVP of this year, without question. So right now is I like this time of year for sports because I like football. I'm not going to lie to you. As always have, always will. So I do get Joe Burrow crushed my championship dreams. Yeah, I haven't listened to any of these guys for a while, man. I haven't listened to any of these guys for a while. I do like Hotep Jesus. I know Young Ripa and Gothics. Bonds are getting crushed. I do think rents are going to go up. Absolutely. I tell you, I think a lot of people are putting a lot of faith in Trump to reduce the prices of stuff. And I just, I don't think it's not going to happen overnight. It's just not. And I just tell you, man, as such, I hope people don't have false expectations. It's going to take some time. But I think, ultimately we're going to grow our way out because we're still America. We still crush. All these other countries can't freaking hold a towel to us, whatever, a candle to us. But we're kicking ass and taking names. But I do think there's going to be some issues. And I think at the end of the day, the media loves the issues. They can blame it on Trump. And sadly, I think a lot of people still fall for the media, but not as many as before. In fact, you want to see something that will make your day. You want to see something make your day. Right here. Slim majority of Americans favor government requires for vaccination against contagious diseases. Look at that, though. Look how far low that's gone. So in 1992, 80% favored mandatory vaccinations against contagious diseases. Now it's 51%. It was 80 to 17. Now it's 51 to 45. You're never going to put that back in the can, dude. You're never going to put that back in. Because people, when they see it, they're like, look, I get emails all the time. Some of you are on here tell me, hell, they know people. Like I was listening to my man, this guy sings for a band called the Anti-Heroes. He actually does great work where he goes out and finds military personnel, POWs, and that they can't find their bodies, and he goes back and tries to reclaim them and bring them back to the United States. A guy's named Mark Noah. Off the top of my head, I can't remember his firm's name. Anyway, his mom died from something, which I'm sure I don't know what the YouTube will say. So his mom died from something. They forced her to get it because she apparently listened to CNN and she said, I'm going to get this. And she got it. She got the booster, go with it. And then a couple of days later, she told her son, Mark, she goes, Mark, they put some in my body that isn't working. Can you help? Take me back so they can take it out. Why poor Pablo? What are you saying, poor Pablo? Yeah, I don't think Sleepy Joe. I mean, I'm not sure Sleepy Joe's. Oh, thanks, Denise. Yeah, that was sad, dude. Sad. Can't smoke 2 to 3 packs of cigarettes a day, though, and drink. I'm not sure that's what killed him, but that certainly didn't help. Hey, look at my man Sid Charlie in the Philippines. Right. Yeah. Well, that's exactly what happened to Reagan. I mean, that's what I'm saying. It took Reagan 2 years to get everything solidified. Reagan took him 2 years. And I think the same thing with Trump. I mean, he'll free up stuff. That's what I'm saying in 2025. I'm cautiously pessimistic. because the same thing what happened in 1981 is that it was a tough go of it initially, but then thankfully Reagan stuck to it. He didn't change, and as such, we benefited from it today. And I think Trump's going to do the same thing. And the nice thing is Trump doesn't need to get reelected, so he's literally taking bullets. So might as well go hell's bells, balls to the wall, and just get stuff done. Interesting comments about that. How did these? I don't get it. Interesting comments about. I'm getting tired, man. I'm get out of here. All right, God bless. Thanks again for being here. Don't forget to say your prayers. We said a prayer already here today, so make sure you get on the YouTube channel. So say your prayers for your loved ones. Say a prayer for 2025 to crush, and it's all good, man. At the end of the day, God's in charge. It doesn't matter. I mean, literally, God. In fact, Paul, even Paul to this day, and I'm not the biggest fan of Paul, by the way. Let me just read you what old Paul said. I thought this was fantastic. I'm not sure Paul said this in Hebrews. Pablo, what is on your mind, dog? I was like, Dad, it was just on my. 1 second, if I can find this thing from Paul, and I'll leave you with this. So that's Adam Silver. Nosferatu looked less scary than him. That's imagine seeing that guy. That's scary. That's Adam Silver. Oh yeah. Oops. What am I doing? Oh, right here. This is how men spent Christmas in 1944, so we can enjoy Christmas in 2024. And some guy said, they went through that and you couldn't even be bothered to wear a mask. I was like, oh God. So they went through that to force me to wear a stupid mask. I said, okay. There are some dumb people out there, man. Some dumb people. Yeah, right here, my man Thomas Massey. The Department of Education has 4,000 employees. The DOE has 4,000 employees making over 100,000 a year. All that money can be used for teachers, 100%. Absolutely. There's Tom Dempsey kicking that massive field goal. Look at this. It was a 65-yarder with his half foot. Boom. Straight on kicker like Mark Mosley. Look at this dog right there. That guy. Oof. All right, so right here. God disciplines his children. In your struggle against sin, you have not yet resisted to the point of shedding your blood. And have you completely forgotten this word of encouragement that addresses you as a father addresses his sons? It says, my son, do not make light of the Lord's discipline, and do not lose heart when he rebukes you, because the Lord disciplines the one he loves, and he chastens everyone he accepts as his son. So endure hardship as discipline. God is treating you as his children. For what children are not disciplined by their father? If you are not disciplined and everyone undergoes discipline, then you are not legitimate, not true sons and daughters at all. Moreover, we have all had human fathers who disciplined us, and we respected them for it. How much more should we submit to the Father of spirits and live? They disciplined us for a little while as they thought best, but God disciplines us for our good in order that we may share in his holiness. No discipline seems pleasant at the time, but painful later on. That's Paul, man. Again, I don't know if Paul actually wrote Hebrews. I don't know who wrote Hebrews. But if that's Paul, then that's some good writing right there. That's some good writing right there, because he's saying when you're disciplined, i.e. going under burdens, that's God, just like a father would do to a son. You can't go undisciplined. And so just endure hardship as discipline. And it's like easy for me to say. I get it, man. Easy. Like Penelope just put down her 17-year-old dog. Oh, that's silly. No, it's not. That's a family member. That's hard. That's a hardship, dude. Losing a family member is a hardship. That's not easy to do. But what Paul's saying here is, I completely agree, is that you're being disciplined for your own good. Endure hardship as discipline, because God is, for some reason, is doing that to you. I don't know why. We don't know why. I think all these people that get in debates about, God and stuff, like, everyone knows, like, could it possibly be that God, could it possibly be that you don't know all God's intentions? I'm just saying that. Could that possibly ever cross your mind? That maybe God is doing something that you're not aware of? Maybe God has done things you're not aware of. I'm throwing it out there because it seems to me if God can create everything, he certainly doesn't have to adhere to your little box that you put in. Yeah. All right. God bless and get out of here. We'll see you guys. Thanks again.